Evaluation by Max Webb. Question 1. In what ways does your media product use, develop, or challenge forms and conventions of real media products? My horror production, The Bloodline, uses a lot of common conventions to build a story that can really engage my target audience, but I have also tried to subvert some of these conventions so that it modernizes the story, characters, and keeps the audience interested. My magazine cover follows a lot of conventions of magazines. It has issue details, a masthead, cell and taglines, as well as a dominant image. I've tried to include as many horror-related themes and cell lines as possible, and did a lot of research into the types of articles and cell lines that are common on magazine covers, specifically horror ones. For this reason, I feel my magazine cover follows conventions, rather than challenging, as magazines have a format that works, and it's best to stick to that format. I have tried to replicate some of the conventions from the magazine cover, Diabolique, as I feel this magazine has the best features. I liked the use of the issue details in the top corner with a designed border, so I tried to copy this on my cover. My design looks scratched, as if something evil or supernatural has attacked the page. This links quite well to horror, as the colour red connotes the blood and danger. I also found that having the logo from the feature article, The Woman in Black, looked really effective and sophisticated, as it clearly shows the main feature. So again, I have tried to replicate this on my own cover with the logo for The Bloodline. I really liked the masthead on the magazine Scream, as it has a clear connotation of the horror and really stands out. So when it came to my own masthead, I wanted to have a similar typography. I looked at different fonts and came up with this one. The font looks scratched, as if, again, something has attacked the page. I also made it a dark red, to again connote blood, danger and the genre. I have subverted and challenged a lot of poster conventions on my own poster to make it have a more mysterious and interesting look. While most film posters would have the main characters as a dominant image, I have made all of my characters smaller, secondary images that are at the bottom of the poster. Because the film isn't a star-led film, all the actor names are the same size and at the top, out of the way of the masthead. A star-led film would sometimes feature the lead actor's name in a bigger text than the masthead, and place it somewhere visible so that fans of the actor will be more inclined to see the film. I really liked the use of the mid-shot used on the Drag Me to Hell poster because it clearly shows off the main character. So, with my production having 3 main characters, I have included all 3 in the medium close-up and made them all small at the bottom of the page. The background for the Sinister poster is quite plain, but really adds a strong simplistic effect. This made me decide that instead of having a forest for a background, I'd have a plain, dark background. My inspiration for the poster mainly came from the Friday the 13th poster. It's dark and mysterious and really connotes horror. I really wanted my poster to have this dark feel to it, as it really is one of the most effective covers I've found. My trailer follows a lot of trailer conventions, as I really wanted to have a spooky and effective trailer that really enticed my target audience. However, I have had an original track written for the trailer, and unlike most trailers, my trailer does not have a loud crescendo of music that leads into a more dramatic section of the trailer. I have included production details and the actor names because these are conventions of trailers. The trailer for The Woman in Black has the actor names in a special typography that matches the masthead. I really liked this continuity, so I included that in my own trailer. I also really liked the quick cut section in the Friday the 13th trailer, and wanted to have my own as it creates a strong, quick pace to the trailer. The Purge has a really nice close-up of an attack on one of the villain's stomachs. I thought that this close-up was really horrific as it showed off the blood and the gore of the moment. I tried to replicate this moment in my own trailer to show more moments that to show the moment that Holly gets shot. Question 2. How effective is the combination of your main product and your ancillary texts? I feel my whole horror production works very well, with each text complementing each other. When creating all 3 of my texts, I really tried to keep in mind how I could make each of the 3 texts link to one another, and how I can keep the theme of the bloodline throughout. One thing that really links all 3 of my texts is the use of the typography, which really creates a brand feel to the whole movie. The magazine has its own branding with different fonts that complement each other, but I've used the Flesh Wounds font that I've used for the poster and trailer for the feature article to keep the film branding in place. Another thing that links the texts together is the use of the same actors. I've tried to keep the same actors and costumes for each character, making them look iconic. Jack Nash, who is present in all 3 of my texts, worked with me to think of outfits for both himself as a famous actor and as the character of Aiden. This has created a familiarity with my movie. Question 3. What did you learn from your audience research? From my audience research, I learned a lot about the kind of things that my audience want and how I can grab my target audience's attention. My target audience wanted a magazine that was no more than £2.99. They said that this was because horror magazines probably have quite a niche market, and so it would need to have a low price to make sales. I have also found out that two of the most favourite types of articles are interviews and reviews. Although I did not need to make a double-page spread, this was helpful when it came to making subheadings and cell lines, as I could edit them to fit these types of articles. When I asked my target audience which horror poster they preferred out of the selection of 4, the most popular was Drag Me to Hell. This meant that I could take some of the techniques they have used to make this poster and imitate it on my own work. My target audience likes the use of the medium close-up, so I've tried to use medium close-ups on all 3 of my characters for the poster. They also said that the simplistic background with the bright, eye-catching dominant image made it more visually appealing. One of the most important pieces of information that I found out from my target audience was that the preferred subgenre of horror was thriller. This allowed me to have a clear focus on thriller trailers when it came to my research, as it was those thriller conventions that was going to appeal to my target audience. Question 4. How did you use media technologies in the construction and research, planning and evaluation stages? I used a lot of different media technologies in the construction of my horror production. In the initial stages, when I was researching for my production, I used Web 2.0, specifically Google Chrome. I used it to look into different media texts already available and research different horror codes and conventions. I also used this to gather inspiration for my production by watching different trailers and looking at different covers. To present my research, I used Microsoft Word. I present a lot of my findings visually, with central images and information surrounding. I have also used programs such as PowerPoint to present my findings, even using it to create this evaluation. Most of my construction happened on Photoshop. I used this program in all 3 of my tasks, to create my magazine cover and poster, and to make the text captions for my trailer. The program has a lot to offer in terms of tools and usage, and it was easy to construct my ancillary tasks on it. To construct my trailer, I used iMovie. This was a new program to me that I had not used before, and so I was not used to all the tools and skills that you could do. However, it was clear and easy to use.